Today, we're talking to David from Trama, a platform that streamlines trademark registration and brand protection. He gets into how powerful contact books can be within Missive, how he sets up out of office roles for his entire legal team, and what they've been custom building using Missive's API. I loved this conversation. Let's get into it.
So this is a third party that sent us an email, and the person that opens the context is able to check any previous conversation, which is contextually important. In the case of a third party, the lawyer can have a look at what were the outcomes of previous cases. So it's quite easy for them to see that, in 2024, we've communicated with this third party, or earlier that year, there was also another case. So it's very easy for them to check without actually going to our CRM. It's not that much friction, but it still requires you manually to open up a new tab, input the email, have a look if there's nothing or anything. And this just solves it.
Pretty neat, right? The ability to click on any email and easily reference past conversations is just the tip of the contact book iceberg. I asked David to show how he's grouped contacts across the whole organization and why.
You can see that there's a couple clients that have said that's just all the incoming people that came to our support address, but currently is not being updated since people get those contacts added to their contact book. Then there's counterparties which are added manually. So what I mentioned about the office inbox, anything that's not filtered, a person has a look, and whether whoever is sending the email is a third party and creates a contact for them in this contact book. There's a contact book for government correspondence. So anyone that's from a government address, it's saved into this contact book. The same applies to our partners. And as I said, the miscellaneous is just wherever Google Docs, Instagram. The internal contacts, it's basically all the people from a company. These have to be done manually, but you can see that even the aliases are at their position. So I can make exceptions in a rule that if I don't want the legal team to get assigned or be notified about a certain type of conversation, I can just do the legal exception in the rule and it's done. There's no having to list every person manually, be worried about missing someone.
Once you have an always up-to-date contact book, either manually or via rules, you can then build some really helpful automations.
This is an example of the recent change that I made. So you can see that there's an email from a new person addressed to support. They send their question and a rule assigns the support team member. He replies, closes, and the outgoing rule then basically has to meet these conditions and adds the label and creates a contact in his contact book. And from there on, it should basically be that in case this person decides to send an email to support once again, based on the addition of that person into various contact book, they will be once again assigned to him directly.
It's the power of contact books. Now, let's dive into something that every organization will use: out of office workflows.
So with support, it's simple. Basically, the general assignment rule and the account management rules have the condition which you can check that if this person is out of office, put it in the team inbox. And from there on, there's a different person that goes through those messages which have popped up in the team inbox and then either assigns it directly to themselves or distributes it across the team. As for our legal team, for each team member, there is an out of office rule. So conditions have to be met for it to work. There is a label which helps once the person returns, it helps them to go through all the conversations that they might have missed. I need access to your alias to send the out of office response. I just request access and I generate a response, which the person is able to edit. They are able to look up the response in the responses and add it to their heart's desire.
David and Trama have 203 rules. They're clearly a Missive power user. So, of course, they had to show us a custom AI integration that they built to help their team reply more quickly to emails.
What we decided to do is use your API for the contacts and conversations. So once you have a conversation that's like several tens of messages long, it generally generates the necessary context, let's say. To fix that, I made this where you can select the conversation. It extracts the entire conversation, sends it to the ChatGPT in this case, and gives you a summary of that, and also creates a response for the person so they can reply. So that's taking all of those messages. It should be listed somewhere, 13 messages. So it takes all of those messages from the conversation, creates a summary, and then generates a response.
That's all for this show and tell. Let us know what you thought in the comments below, or if you have any questions for David, and we'll see you in the next one.